The Elation MIDICON, the most popular MIDI control board geared for various types of lighting, video, and laser software, is back with a vengeance. The MIDICON 2 combines a little bit of the MIDICON Pro and the original MIDICON, giving you an amazing solution at an affordable price for many of your favorite event programs. Let's take a look at some of the new features in the MIDICON 2, as well as some of the different ways that you can use it here on Gear It First. The original MIDICON, what made it so great was the flexibility, right? And then the MIDICON Pro really stepped it up, way above and beyond what everybody expected, by adding much better keys, much better encoder wheels, and the motorized faders. The MIDICON 2, it's kind of like the step in between, right? You still have that 19-inch form factor that many of us really like because it allows us to rack mount it or use it in many popular cases. It doesn't have the motorized faders, so it does keep the cost down low. But instead of having the traditional wheels that the regular MIDICON has, it has the same wheels as the MIDICON 2, as well as the really nice tactile buttons and a couple extra features. What makes the MIDICON so great is it doesn't matter if you are a high-end lighting designer or a DJ. This is very easy to use, but allows you to pretty much map it to do whatever you want because of its 16 pages on each side. You've got quite a bit that you can do with it. For lighting control, I use this with CompuShow. Some users use it with MyDMX, though the MyDMX or whichever DMX software you have may not have full support for the wheels yet, but some of their softwares will. I've also used this with Pangolin's Beyond quite a bit, and I've done some really cool stuff with it, and Arceus Media Master Pro. And the thing is that having these little what I call the speed encoders, because that's what I'm using them for, it does allow me to add a little bit of an extra option on my Media Master. The MIDICON 2 has just a great user-friendly layout, just like the traditional MIDICON. On the top, we have our pages. Now we have 16 pages, and these pages are for the 8 faders here. So on page 1, this is 1 through 8, then we have 9 through 16, and so forth. Over each individual fader, and also pageable, are 2 recall buttons, so you could use this for cue, pause, whatever you want to map it to. And this time there's no actual labels on the side or anything like that. And then in between you've got these guys. Now these are new, they're not even in the MIDICON Pro, and I really like them. Basically this is an encoder, it spins infinity either way. You can map it to whatever you want. I'm personally going to map it for a scene or the speed of the overall scene that this would control, or the fixture, and you can also reset by clicking it here. Now another great feature is that unlike just the blue LED that the traditional MIDICON had, this is now blue or red. Same thing with the blackout button, so you're going to have a much better visual representation as to which one it is. So I can have blackout when it's on, it's red, and then when all the lights are on, it would be blue. Here, this one lights up blue, this one lights up red, that's by default. So that's pretty cool. Again, just a different way to make the MIDICON much more useful. There used to be 3 buttons here, now there's only 2. We have our shortcut buttons, and here again we've got another set of pages. We've got 16 pages for these buttons right here, 1 through 32. This is not pageable. This stays the same no matter what you do. But here we got 1 through 32, and then you have 33, 34, 35, and so forth. Now, the touchpads that we were familiar with the traditional MIDICON, that's gone. And we have 4 wheels, but they're not the normal wheels, and I'll show you those in just a second, right? They're not the regular wheels. These are actual encoders, just like the MIDICON Pro 2. A lot smoother, a lot more precise, and this wheel just feels great. No more touch buttons. Now we have A through H. I actually liked the touch buttons, and I thought I was gonna miss having it, but because the software that I use allows me to create flash buttons out of anything, I actually found that it was much easier to have this, whereas my palm would sometimes touch the buttons and then trigger something that it shouldn't be triggering. But honestly, I'm happy to lose the touch buttons to actually have 4 wheels, because now I can do speed, phasing, stage size, and strobing or overall dimmer for the software that I use, which is Elation's CompuShow. And it is rack mountable. There is a rack mountable kit that comes with it, so you can just take this out and easily rack mount it. Just like the MIDICON Pro 2, it's got this little surface here. It's not super soft, but it is a little bit more squishier, if that's a term we can use, than the sides over here. Overall, it's just a great looking, lightweight, but robust console. It's going to allow me to do a lot of different things with it. I cannot wait to use CompuShow and even my laser software, Pangolin Beyond, and video software, Arceus Media Master Pro with this. Let's compare this real quick against the traditional MIDICON so you can see a little bit of the differences. Keep in mind that my MIDICON has been customized. This guy hasn't yet. So again, we've got the 2 buttons as opposed to the 3 there. These buttons, definitely a lot more robust. Faders are pretty similar over here. The paging is very similar, although I really like the blue LEDs. The blackout button, you got the blackout button here. Again, these buttons look like actual keyboard buttons, very similar to the MIDICON Pro 2. These are a much softer button. You have your 6 shortcut buttons. You've got your 32 page buttons right there. But you'll see that this one has a little bit more, it requires a little bit more space than these. And needless to say, it's really nice to be able to have it that way so your hands aren't accidentally bumping into another button, which I seem to frequently do. This is definitely spaced out a lot better because they got rid of these guys right here. Again, you've got your 4 wheels as opposed to 3, and I prefer having them on the bottom like this. And then you've got your A through H buttons. You can use those to call index pages, again, whatever you want. But I really, really, really like how they were able to space this out a little bit more, but the MIDICON is still the exact same size as the original. So it's still rack mountable. This one I already removed the edges out of it. This one still has the little borders, or the little, I guess whatever you want to call them, the guards there. Don't get me wrong, the original MIDICON is a great, powerful unit, but the 2 really improves on the overall design and most importantly, construction. This one just feels better the moment you use it. My name's Ronaldo Offerman here with GearItFirst.com. Thanks so much for watching the Elation MIDICON 2 review. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your colleagues. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments below. Have a great night and God bless.